Around the world, people and businesses are searching for a better way to move money. The dream is simple. Send value anywhere, instantly, with no borders or barriers. But the reality is a global system stuck in the past. Slow, expensive, and full of uncertainty. Imagine a freelancer in Manila waiting days to get paid from New York, or a business owner in Cairo struggling to pay a supplier in Germany. Every transaction is a leap of faith, tangled in forms, codes, and hidden fees. In an age where information travels at the speed of light, why does money crawl? The world is ready for a new solution, a digital currency that can finally deliver on the promise of global payments. The current system, built on decades-old technology like SWIFT, was revolutionary in its time. But SWIFT is just a messaging network, not a true payment system. Money still moves through a maze of correspondent banks, each adding delays and costs. A single transfer can bounce from New York to London to Singapore before reaching its destination, with every stop taking a cut. The result? Days of waiting, unpredictable fees, and a lack of transparency that leaves millions in the dark. The world's financial plumbing is leaking, and the need for a new digital solution has never been clearer. Every step in this outdated chain adds friction. Intermediary banks take their share, currency conversions eat away at the total, and hidden fees pile up. For migrant workers sending money home, or small businesses paying international invoices, these costs are more than just numbers. They're lost opportunities and strained relationships. The lack of transparency means you never know how much will actually arrive. The world is demanding a better way, a digital currency that is fast, fair, and truly global. Beyond the visible costs, banks are forced to lock away trillions of dollars in dormant accounts around the world, just to keep the system running. This trapped capital is money that could be building businesses, funding education, or supporting families. Instead, it sits idle, a hidden tax on the global economy. The inefficiency is staggering, and it's holding everyone back. This friction creates barriers that reinforce inequality and slow down progress. Small businesses can't grow, families wait for vital funds, and even humanitarian aid is delayed. The system works for the biggest corporations, but for everyone else, it's a constant struggle. The world is ready for a change, a digital currency that levels the playing field and unlocks new possibilities for billions. Enter Ripple and its digital asset, XRP. Born in San Francisco, Ripple set out to do more than just speed up payments. It aimed to build the Internet of Value. XRP is not just another cryptocurrency. It's designed to move money as quickly and efficiently as information. With global adoption accelerating, Ripple and XRP are positioned to become the world's new digital currency, connecting people, businesses and economies like never before. Ripple's technology is already transforming the way value moves. The XRP ledger is decentralized, open source, and built for speed and efficiency. Transactions settle in seconds, not days, and at a fraction of the cost. Unlike older blockchains, XRP uses a unique consensus mechanism that is energy efficient and scalable, making it a sustainable choice for the future of finance. At the heart of this revolution is XRP, a digital asset acting as a universal bridge for money. Financial institutions can use XRP for instant, low-cost, cross-border payments, bypassing the old expensive system. As more banks, businesses, and individuals adopt Ripple and XRP, the vision of a truly global digital currency is becoming reality. The world is on the verge of a new era in money, and Ripple is leading the way. When comparing digital currencies, XRP stands out over Bitcoin and Ethereum. XRP transactions settle in just seconds, while Bitcoin and Ethereum can take minutes or even hours. XRP's fees are a fraction of a cent, making it ideal for both large and small payments. Unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, which use energy-intensive mining, XRP is energy-efficient and scalable. This makes XRP not only faster and cheaper, but also more sustainable for the future of global finance. Ripple's XRP is rapidly changing the game of global finance, not just as a payment rail, but as a true world currency. Today, banks, businesses, and individuals across continents are adopting XRP for everything from cross-border payments to everyday purchases. Unlike traditional systems that rely on slow, costly intermediaries, XRP enables instant, low-fee transactions, making it a powerful tool for international commerce. Its adoption curve is steep, with more institutions and users joining every day, and its role as a store of value and medium of exchange is growing stronger. Compared to other cryptocurrencies, XRP stands out for its speed and efficiency. While Bitcoin and Ethereum can take minutes or even hours to settle, XRP transactions are confirmed in just seconds, with fees so low they're almost negligible. This makes XRP uniquely suited for both large-scale institutional transfers and small, everyday purchases. Its growing acceptance by merchants and payment providers worldwide is turning it into a practical medium of exchange, not just a speculative asset. Major banks and financial institutions are integrating XRP into their payment systems, leveraging its on-demand liquidity to move money across borders instantly. Businesses use XRP to pay suppliers and employees in different countries, avoiding the delays and high costs of legacy banking. For individuals, XRP offers a way to send remittances, make purchases, or simply hold value in a digital asset that's accessible anywhere in the world. The real-world impact is clear. XRP is powering a new era of global commerce. From bustling markets in Asia to tech startups in Europe and families sending money home in the Americas, XRP is bridging currencies and communities. Its transparent, decentralized ledger ensures trust and security, while its speed and low cost make it accessible to everyone. As adoption accelerates, XRP is not just changing how money moves, it's redefining what money can be in a connected world. As more people and institutions embrace XRP, its network effect grows, driving even greater utility and value. With its proven technology, expanding ecosystem, and real-world use cases, Ripple's XRP is emerging as a cornerstone of the new digital economy, a currency built for the world and for the future. The story of XRP is still being written, but one thing is certain: it's no longer just a cryptocurrency for traders, it's a global tool for payments, savings, and opportunity. As the world moves toward a more open and inclusive financial system, XRP is leading the way, connecting people, businesses, and nations like never before. From its origins as a bold idea to its current role as a global currency, Ripple's XRP is transforming the way the world thinks about money. Its journey is a testament to the power of innovation, community, and the relentless drive to make finance work for everyone, everywhere. As adoption continues to grow, the future of money is being shaped by those who use, build, and believe in XRP. The revolution is underway, and it's happening in real time, all around the globe. The game has changed. XRP is here, and the world is taking notice. But beyond the charts and market caps, the real-world impact of this technology is where its true potential shines. Consider Marco, a Filipino worker in Japan, sending money home to his family. For years this was a painful ritual. He'd go to a physical remittance center, pay exorbitant fees that could be as high as 10% of his transfer, and then his family would wait for 3 to 5 agonizing days for the funds to clear. That's money for groceries, school fees, or urgent medical care, stuck in a slow, expensive, and outdated system. Now, using a service powered by Ripple's payment technology, that same transfer is completed in under a minute, for a tiny fraction of the cost. This isn't just about convenience, it's about dignity. It's about ensuring the maximum amount of his hard-earned wages reaches the people who need it most. This story repeats itself across the globe. Think of a small business owner in Mexico, Elena, who exports handmade artisan crafts. In the old world, paying her suppliers in Asia meant tying up huge amounts of precious capital in pre-funded accounts in different currencies, a system known as Nostro Vostro. This capital would sit idle, waiting for transactions. It was a massive barrier, making it difficult to compete with larger corporations. With Ripple, she can pay those suppliers instantly, on demand, freeing up her cash flow. This allows her to grow her business, hire more local artisans, and negotiate better terms, competing on a global scale that was once unimaginable. Or a freelance developer in India, who can now get paid by a client in San Francisco almost instantly, avoiding the high fees and long waits of international wire transfers that used to shrink their income. And the proof of this efficiency isn't hidden in corporate reports. It's broadcast daily by a global community of users. On platforms like X, a constant stream of developers, traders, and everyday people share screenshots of their transactions, real-time micro-stories of value moving frictionlessly across the globe. One trader famously moved a large sum of money across continents in under 5 seconds for less than 30 cents. To understand how revolutionary that is, consider the alternative: a traditional bank wire. That same transaction would have been routed through a complex web of correspondent banks, each taking a cut and adding days to the settlement time, ultimately costing hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. this incredible efficiency is by design. The XRP ledger doesn't use the slow, energy-intensive mining process of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Instead, it uses a consensus protocol where a select group of independent validators rapidly agree on the order and outcome of transactions. This process confirms a transaction in 3 to 5 seconds, at a negligible energy cost, making it not only fast and cheap, but also green. It's this underlying architecture that enables everything from multi-million-dollar settlements to tiny micropayments for online content or gaming. But just as Ripple's technology was gaining serious traction and adoption was accelerating, a legal storm of unprecedented scale gathered on the horizon. In the final days of the Trump administration, on December 22, 2020, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filed a blockbuster lawsuit against Ripple Labs and its top 2 executives, CEO Brad Garlinghouse and co-founder Chris Larsen. The agency's bombshell allegation was that the company had raised over $1.3 billion through an ongoing unregistered securities offering by selling its native digital asset, XRP. In the SEC's view, XRP was not a currency or a commodity, but an investment contract, a security, from its very inception. The timing, just before Christmas, and the aggressive nature of the suit, which also targeted the executives personally, sent profound shockwaves not just through Ripple, but the entire crypto industry. The market reaction was swift and brutal. In the immediate aftermath, chaos reigned. Fearing the legal repercussions of facilitating the trade of what could be deemed an unregistered security, nearly every major US-based cryptocurrency exchange moved to suspend trading or delist XRP entirely. With its largest and most liquid markets suddenly shuttered, liquidity evaporated overnight, and the price plunged dramatically, wiping out billions in value for holders around the world. But in the face of this crisis, something extraordinary happened. The passionate and globally distributed community of XRP holders, often called the XRP Army, refused to be silent victims. They mobilized. Led by legal advocates like John Deaton, a former Marine-turned-lawyer, tens of thousands of individual investors organized. They argued that they had purchased XRP on secondary markets as a currency or commodity, not as an investment in Ripple. In an unprecedented move for a retail community, they successfully petitioned the court to be heard, filing amicus briefs to become a formal voice in the case, arguing the SEC's actions were harming the very investors it was mandated to protect. They argued the SEC's lawsuit was a gross overreach that was harming the very investors it claimed to protect. The entire multi-billion-dollar case hinged on a legal precedent from a 1946 Supreme Court case involving a Florida citrus grove. The Howey test. For something to be an investment contract, and therefore a security, it must involve an investment of money in a common enterprise with an expectation of profit to be derived from the efforts of others. The SEC argued that people bought XRP expecting Ripple's promotional and development efforts to increase its value. Ripple's defense was clear. XRP is an open-source, decentralized technology with a primary use case as a bridge currency for payments. Its value is driven by market forces and utility, not solely Ripple's efforts. For 2.5 years, the legal battle raged. Finally, on July 13, 2023, the industry got the moment it had been waiting for. Judge Annalisa Torres delivered a landmark summary judgment. It was a nuanced, split decision that sent shockwaves of a different kind. She ruled that Ripple's direct sales of XRP to institutional investors constitute unregistered securities offerings. However, in a monumental win for Ripple and the broader industry, she declared that XRP itself is not inherently a security. And crucially, she ruled that programmatic sales on public exchanges to anonymous retail buyers were securities transactions. It was a monumental victory, providing a level of legal clarity the US retail market had desperately needed for years. The market reaction was instantaneous and explosive. Exchanges that had delisted XRP scrambled to relist it, some within hours. The price of XRP skyrocketed over 70% as a flood of buying pressure from retail and re-engaged institutional trading desks was unleashed. In a televised interview, Brad Garlinghouse called it not just a win for Ripple, but a massive victory for the entire crypto industry against the SEC's campaign of regulation by enforcement. For the tens of thousands of holders in the XRP army who had held on through the darkest days of the lawsuit, the ruling felt like pure vindication. Their fight had been worth it. But the war wasn't entirely over. While the ruling on public sales was a clear win, the fight over the institutional sales continued. The final chapter, focused on the remedies and penalties for those sales, remain to be resolved, leaving one last cloud of uncertainty in an otherwise clear sky. That extra 5 or 10% now saved on fees goes to food, education, healthcare. In emergencies, seconds matter. Instant transfers can be a life-saving lifeline. With a smartphone and internet, people in remote areas gain access to global finance. Tokenization lets you buy fractional shares of real estate, stocks, or art, unlocking illiquid assets to small investors. AMMs, lending protocols and DeFi primitives on the ledger, create new financial services for everyone. Legal clarity opens the door for conservative institutions and possible spot XRP ETFs that could drive huge new demand. The road ahead still has regulatory and technical hurdles. Adoption takes integration, compliance, and trust. But a resilient community, growing app ecosystem, and powerful real use cases mean the movement is more than hype. Imagine a world where money flows like information. Instant, low cost, programmable, and inclusive. That future is now being built. This is Ripple's story so far. Technology proven, legal battles fought, and real people helped. The next chapter will be written by regulators, institutions, and everyday users, all together.